You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump's just a sickening blip in America's history. And this holiday proves it, based on an article by John Casey. The flag was never the prize. Power was. Trump did not steal the symbol alone. The source frames this as a story about a man hijacking the American flag. That is too small. Yes, Donald Trump has wrapped himself in patriotic imagery while attacking courts, the press, elections, and the peaceful transfer of power. But the deeper story is that he has been allowed to convert civic symbols into personal branding because institutions keep giving him the stage, the coverage, and the oxygen. This is not confusion. It is organized permission. The mall is a set, not a republic. The article's image of a 250th birthday spectacle on the National Mall is revealing. A state fair built around one man, with thin crowds and logistical failures masquerading as national commemoration. That is the real political theater here. Trump did not make democracy live on the mall. He tried to relocate the nation's meaning into a controlled venue where he could stand in front of it and claim authorship. That is the pattern of authoritarian branding. Strip the public of shared ownership, then sell them a performance of belonging. The grift is the message. The source notes that Trump has reportedly pocketed roughly $2 billion during his second term and is flying around on a luxury jet gifted by Qatar while pretending to preside over America's birthday. That is not a side detail. It is the point. A patriot does not monetize the office, accept luxury gifts from foreign regimes, and then drape himself in the flag as cover. The flag here is not being honored. It is being used as a laundering device for corruption. The performance of nationalism is carrying the weight that decency and accountability should have been carrying. Misdirection as political strategy. The article wants readers to feel disgust at Trump's presence and then, for one day, look away. That impulse is understandable, but it also shows how thoroughly he has warped the attention economy. The demand to ignore him only makes sense because he has already been made into the center of public life by the media, by his movement, and by the political system that still has not imposed consequences fit to the scale of the damage. He is not the only actor in this story. The press keeps chasing him. Political institutions keep tolerating him. The country keeps being told to treat deliberate anti-democratic behavior as another tiresome chapter in a never-ending personality drama. That framing is useful to him. Patriotism was never his property. The source is strongest when it insists that the flag belongs to ordinary people, not to Trump. That is correct, but it should go further. Patriotism is not a costume, and democracy is not a branding opportunity for a corrupt strawman. The people waving flags from porches are not props in his spectacle. They are the country he has spent years trying to hollow out. The danger is not simply that Trump offends civic feeling. It is that he turns civic feeling into a shield for extraction, grievance, and domination. He makes corruption look like nationalism and contempt for law look like strength. The larger pattern. What this story reveals is not just one demagogue's obsession with the flag. It is the fragility of democratic meaning when elites, media, and institutions allow symbols to substitute for accountability. Trump does not have to be forever, but the machinery that keeps rewarding him can outlast him if it is not confronted directly. The fight is not over who gets to wave the flag. It is over who gets to use the state, the spectacle, and the national story as instruments of power. Until that is named plainly, the same racket will keep returning in different costumes. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Amy. Thanks for listening.